Okay, just simple question for you, Cam Jansen. Are the Blues gonna be good this year?
Yes.
Why and how good?
Well, there's a lot of competition. They're going to make. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I do. You got. I mean, you got a lot younger and you got a lot faster, and not to mention, there's a lot of competition. We just had Doug Armstrong on our podcast, Chemistry Podcast. He's coming out next Tuesday. He had him on for like an hour and 15 minutes. It was fantastic. This is just me. I mean, he can tell me whatever he wants about the Blues being good or not, but I looked at what he did, the aggressiveness with the offer sheets to Brobert and Holloway. You got Fosca. You got all these other guys that they signed. Then you got all these other guys like Dvorsky and some other young kids that were right there at the end of the year last year too that are going to try to compete for the top 6 spot. There's going to be a ton of competition from Perunovic to the young kids to the fourth line to guys like Oscar Sundquist to Tessier. So they have all these new young kids that are going to competing, some with the top 6, some with the bottom 6. There'll be a lot of competition. They got a lot younger. They got quicker. They solidified the left side on defense with Robert. Hey, people talk highly of this kid. Have we seen a lot of him? No, but we did see him compete and do pretty damn good in the best competition in the world, and that's the Stanley Cup playoffs. And he looked pretty dang good. And so, if he can complement Colton Parayko and a Justin Falk, and now you have a little bit more competition. Now, Doug Armstrong and that coaching staff have work to do. Man, they're going to have to cut some guys. They're going to have to send some guys down. Some of that's going to be easier said than done. And there'd be some guys that you could just send down and get some playing time in the minors that they don't have to go through waivers and whatnot. So I do think the Blues are going to be a bit better. Are they going to be? Are they a Stanley Cup challenging team? I don't know, but I think they're going to get into the playoffs and maybe scare some teams this year. And to me, that's trending in the right direction. There, I see a game plan with the Blues. Now we want to talk about other teams in this city. That's not the case. But with the Blues right now, and listen, they both had bad couple years, both those teams, the Cardinals and the Blues. But I look at the Blues, I'm like, I get what you're trying to do. I see where you're trying to go. Okay, I'm jumping on board, and I'm not going to guarantee anything because you just never know. But I will bet you they will be a lot more competitive, and they will squeak into the playoffs, if not make the playoffs.
Love it. All right, couple comments. Matt Emlo 12. I agree Cam Central got better, but we did too. Everyone wants to write us off despite 92 points last year and being better this year. Another one from where's he at here? JTP says the young cats will come out buzzing. This team will come out playing for them and this city. We'll eat it up and get behind these fellas early. So you said Army comes out next week. You told me, I think, on the phone a couple days ago, it was really good. So without giving it all away, give us a little tease of some of the best stuff that Army said.
Well, we talked about the Petro situation. You know, he got into that a little bit. It's the first time I really heard him talk about it. You'll have to hear it what he says, and there's only so much you could say with certain things, especially with a guy that's still current and playing. But Armstrong's classy. Listen, as everybody knows with him, he doesn't beat around the bush. You ask Army a question, it's calculated, and you know whatever he says, you're like, yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying to me. You're not kind of teasing. You're not trying to do this and squeak around a little bit or act like we don't know what we're talking about when we watch the Blues every second of every single game. Like the fans know what the hell they're talking about. Okay, they do. They watch every second of these games, and so I just like the way he answers questions, man. And he was on for a long, long time. We talked about the offer sheet. And listen, the Blues also kicked in a couple freebies for Edmonton too. That Fisher kid who no one knew about. Don't even ask me if I knew who it was. Don't act like you know who the hell that Fisher was, because none of y'all did. And then you throw like another pick in there. So that was all talked about at the beginning. Like, hey, we're going to help you out. And they waited. Edmonton went out and got a couple guys. They traded. They made some moves to help out their salary cap. Well, if I'm a GM though, just like you said, like if you see a team that's vulnerable, that's really good, that's cap heavy, they got young kids to sign, you got to make a move on that. And you don't want to throw offer sheets out just to do it to screw another team over. You need to want the guys that are coming over. Okay. And to be able to give up a second round pick and a third round pick, that's fine. Did he want to give up a first round pick? No. He's got a lot of first round picks, man. A lot of them just soaking. They're like, what are we doing? Let's go. Not the weird soaking in Salt Lake City, soaking in the minors and in the juniors. You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
So they could, you're not going to be able to use all those. So you're going to have to pick and choose what you want to do. Which of these young kids you're going to keep? Which are you going to package away for something you might need later on in a couple months when maybe there's some injuries or somebody's not panning out? You got options. And again, I see the avenue where this hockey team wants to go. And for all the St. Louis fans out there, I think they can agree with me. They have a vision, and I bet you St. Louis Blues fans right now are really excited about this year.